Hi everyone, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first of this kind of video. First of all, I know that there is a tier ranking website, but did you know that shit makes you log into a Twitter account? Bitch, I don't use Twitter. So instead, we're going to use Canva for this. So with the new expansion pack, Horse Ranch, coming out on Friday, I will not be purchasing. But with that coming out, I wanted to go back and look at all of the expansion packs I have paid money for, which is all of them because I've bought every single pack in my game and ranked them. This is for me just to kind of reflect on how much money I've spent on these things and what I genuinely think is worth it, but also for you, if you have The Sims 4, which base game is free, and you are thinking about getting an expansion pack, this will give you a good idea of what expansion packs I personally think were worth the money, what expansion packs I think are great. I'm going to try to do my best to be super detailed here with what the packs come with, if I can remember, and why I think that they're worth it. So we have about 13 expansion packs for The Sims 4, and the purpose behind the expansion pack is that it changes how your game works. It's supposed to expand your gameplay pretty significantly. So we're going to start with City Living, and for me, City Living is a must-have. And the main reason City Living is a must-have for me is because of the apartment features. I personally love playing in San Myshuno, and I think the San Myshuno apartments are very well done. You have a variety of neighbors who actually interact with you. You can have super annoying neighbors, loud neighbors, neighbors you don't get along with, which I think is a fun concept. And I just in general love building the apartments. All of the apartments are so different, they're beautiful, and I love the views in a lot of them. San Myshuno is a gorgeous world. In addition, City Living came with things like festivals, and festivals are such a fun thing to participate in. They can get fairly repetitive, but I still love that festival system. It makes City Living in the world of San Myshuno feel alive. San Myshuno is also densely populated. I think karaoke came with City Living, if I'm remembering that correctly. Of course, there's also basketball in City Living. Just adding a lot of depth to your game. And if you like apartment style gameplay, if you like the festival system, there's also like the ability to buy ingredients in San Myshuno for more realism with cooking and having that grocery shopping feature. Not entirely, it's mostly like spices and unlocking new recipes. I just think that City Living is a very fleshed out pack and I really enjoy it. My next one is Get Together. How do I feel like Get Together? Get Together is, I'm going to put it at fine, I guess. Now, while Get Together did come with a lot of things, the main selling feature being the world of Windenburg. Windenburg is one of the biggest worlds, if not the biggest world that we have in The Sims 4, and Windenburg itself is absolutely gorgeous. It is really fun to play with. It's one of the only worlds that we have in the game that has this kind of European, to me, it's almost like German or Tudor style architecture, which I think is fun. You have the ruins you can go to, and then you have like this abandoned pond thing. I'm putting clips in the video so you should be able to see it now, that I think is a lot of fun for gameplay. What this adds as well is the ability to do clubs and gatherings, which while is a useful feature for your Sims for things like family reunions, having your Sims meet other Sims without necessarily having to go out and individually meeting them, just being able to add them to groups is a very fun concept, but it's not something that I use a lot, nor do I think it's the main selling point for this pack, although it is a major feature. The ability to create special groups where your Sims do specific tasks is useful, but not like a major game changer to me. What I do like about Get Together is the dancing feature and like the nightclubs and the cafes. All of that came to Get Together, and I use cafes a lot. I think that's a very fun system, and I think that the nightclubs and the dancing is a fun idea, and I definitely use nightclubs a lot. For those specific lots, I do enjoy the pack, but dancing is pretty buggy and you'll have a hard time getting your Sims to do a group dance on the dance floor. While it is a nice pack and I enjoy it, it's not a pack I'm completely obsessed with, and I think if you can get it on sale, definitely go for it. Get to Work. It's gonna get complicated because for me, I always associate Get to Work and Get Together in the same kind of category. Get to Work can be, and it's fine, I guess, or it can be a game changer. And I think for me, I'm gonna pop it into game changer because Get to Work includes the retail system and active careers. Now, Get to Work doesn't come with a specific world that you can play with. There is a world where the hospital is, but it's just like that one lot that your sim loads into. The main reason why I do like Get to Work is because of the active careers. It's not something that I use often, but it is something that I use often enough, and it's a great way for me to kind of change up my gameplay. If I'm tired of just sending my sims off to work and then having them come back, maybe I want to go with them, and Get to Work provides you with that option. In general, though, something that I'm a big fan of with the Get to Work pack is retail lots. I think the retail lots are really fun, and they're very fleshed out and just really allow you to do a lot. You can have a bakery, you can have like a store that your sims will actually go shopping with. It came with mannequins, it comes with the active careers. I like the hospital lot a lot, and playing like the doctor, I think that's a fun thing. In general, I can tell a lot of effort was put into this pack and the active careers, while definitely buggy for sure. It's The Sims 4, it's not about its faults. It is still really fun to play, and I think it lives up to the expansion pack mission and goal of being something that will change your gameplay. But the active careers are super fun. The retail lots are super fun. It introduces a new and fun way to do rags to riches. You can sell pretty much anything at a retail store, and I think that aspect alone does add a lot of realism to the game. Growing together, I'm gonna put this at it's fine, I guess. And the reason why growing together is it's fine is I would be hard pressed to tell you what this pack came with. No fucking idea. I know that the infants were a base game update, but if you don't have this pack, from what I understand, infants are very one-dimensional and not that fun to play with. So I think that this pack adds a lot of interactions for your infants. My personal opinion on that is that I think that there should have been those interactions in the base game and not specifically in this pack, although I understand why these beautiful infant interactions were in this pack, because the selling point of this is infants, but they couldn't lock infants behind a paywall. Now, what I do like is the introduction of kids being able to do bike riding. It does add the fun challenge of like family dynamics. The world of San Sequoia, while beautiful, is very set like, and I've noticed this with later Sims packs. It's a lot of debug buildings, and the spacing is just kind of odd. You are essentially alone in your lot, and all around you is debug houses, and then your nearest neighbor is very, very, very far away. And for a pack that's supposed to be about family, I think that could have been done differently, having more of the almost Willow Creek like feel. I'll show you, like you can see that your neighbors are right next to you, versus in San Sequoia your neighbors are very, very far and you're surrounded by debug houses. I like the walking trails and growing together. I think that that's fun. Obviously, the main thing here is infants, and while I do consider it an essential for me, just when it comes to playing with infants, I don't necessarily think that it is worth $40 for what you get. And the kids learning to ride bikes is cute, but very difficult and often buggy. And I do like the treehouse though. The treehouse is a fun item that adds a lot of fun gameplay for your sim. So I guess the answer to whether or not it's worth it is up to you. What are you looking for? But to me, a mediocre pack that is essential simply because of the interactions with infants. High school years. Ooh, this is tricky for me because I want to put it in it's fine, I guess, but I actually love the build and buy of high school years, and I love the world. And for that reason alone, I'm going to put it in game changer, because in high school years, this pack obviously introduces active high school, the ability for you to go with your sims to high school, have things like prom, etc. That's fine and all. It gets repetitive and annoying like any other active thing in The Sims 4. But what I like about high school years is that this introduced thrifting, and I think that is super fun. And that system is great for rags to riches. I like the boba tea element as well. It just adds more realism. We also got like amusement park stuff, and as someone who enjoys building in The Sims 4, having a Ferris wheel and functional rides, sometimes functional rides, it's The Sims, it bugs out sometimes, is really fun. I thought that was a really enjoyable part of the pack. I think that the world that this comes with, which is Copperdale, is a beautiful world. I really love the map for this. I think that this world is gorgeous. I love having the active prom and the ability for you to customize your high school and the lots for and how that works. Having different events for high school students, I do feel like it's fairly fleshed out. We also got Trendy as that app, and we got the Social Bunny. Not a fan fan of social money. We have way too many social media platforms in The Sims 4, all of which are very one-dimensional. And really, I would prefer to have one social media platform in The Sims 4 and have that be fully fleshed out, and to have a bunch that your sim is trying to keep up with. But social money is, you know, there. For me, the selling points of this pack are the build and buy. The build and buy, gorgeous. Love it. It's so much fun. It's so colorful. It's so teen. It makes building really fun for me. I love the Ferris wheel. I love the active rides. I think that prom can be a good time, and having the ability to customize those lots. I like the thrifting system, and I like the thrift and bubble tea and the cast items. I usually don't focus on cast items because I use custom content, but the cast items in this are fairly good, and for those reasons I'm gonna put it in game changer. But no, it was on the border of being, it's fine, I guess. Cottage living. For me, cottage living is a must-have. Okay, hear me out. Cottage living is just fun. It is just so much fun. If you like farming simulations, like, Cottage Living is your pack. Because of course we already have gardening as a base game feature in The Sims 4, but Cottage Living introduces the ability for you to have a farm. You can have cows and chickens and llamas. You can collect milk from your cow and eggs from your chicken. You can have different kind of chickens, which will give you different kind of treats. The same with all of the animals, which I think is fun because it changes what you're able to get from them. Like the llamas, you can get wool, but you can change the color of the wool depending on what you feed your animal. The chickens are so cute, and I love that they're free range. For me, the thing that I don't love is that the cows and the llamas are locked to an item. They can only go so far. I guess it makes sense because in real life you're probably not having your cows wander all over your house, right? You have a section where your cows should be. I just wish that they had more free range. I also love the oversized crops feature. It's just the cozy farming sim. Not of my dreams, because it could have more, but the cozy farming sim that I really enjoy. I think that the world of Henford on Bagley is really gorgeous. Just like has stunning views, a great number of lots. It feels like a community. Of course, Cottage Living introduced the ability to go grocery shopping. I think that having groceries delivered also became a base game update, but having like the little stall in town, all of the lots are amazing. I love them. You have the like fairs that go on in the center of town. Just overall does capture that like small English countryside town, and if I'm living in a fantasy, that is the pack that is able to let me do that. And I think that it is a fun pack for what it is. For all of these packs, honestly, I will tell you, I think $40 is too much to pay. We'll wait for them to be on sale, and when they are on sale, go ahead and grab the ones that I am recommending to you. Okay, Snowy Escape. This is the first pack that could go into giving my money back, but it's not quite there yet, so I'm gonna put it in it's fine, I guess. Now, I think that what Snowy Escape does well is that the lots are pretty. They're very, very pretty. The people that they brought on to build did a great job. Beautiful lots. The thing that I don't like, well, let's see what things that I do like. Snowy Escape introduces the world of Montgomery, and I love the introduction of more like Japanese culture in this, because Montgomery is very obviously inspired by Japan, and it's really fun for that aspect of it. I do enjoy it. I also enjoy the introduction of snowboarding, skiing, sledding, and like mountain climbing. I think that those are very fun winter activities. Outside of that, let's get into some critiques. Snowboarding and skiing is the same animation on a loop. There's only so many times that you will watch your sim go down a mountain and be entertained. Replayability here is not high. Mountain climbing is the same thing. It's fun, and I love that you can climb Mount Komorebi and get to the peak. That is what's pushing this pack beyond Give Me Money Back, because you do get some gameplay features. The world of Mount Komorebi itself is quite beautiful, but up in the mountains, something that I do struggle with is the amount of snow. I know it's ridiculous, okay? Hear me out. There is a lot of snow, obviously, because you're on a snowy fucking mountain. The thing is, though, it makes it hard to find everything because everything is white. Everything is white. So it's very hard to navigate around because you can't see shit. You cannot see anything because everything is the same color. And that makes it really hard for me to visually navigate. And I don't know. I just don't like that part. And I just don't think that replayability in this pack is high, because you're going to get bored of watching your Sims go down the same mountain all the time. There's not enough animations or space spaces where your Sims could do that. And we have sledding, but the only places you can do like sledding and snowboarding and skiing is in Mount Komorebi. It's locked to that world. And I would have loved for an integration with seasons where you would have been able to go sledding on your own home lot if you had like a hill when it was snowing. If you could go mountain climbing in other places, like other worlds, like imagine mountain climbing in Strangerville. That would be so fun. Or in Oasis Springs. I think that would be such a good time. I get what they don't, and it's because the rocks in those worlds are debug objects and don't naturally have that function, but I'm just picturing what this pack could have been. And for you to do any of the snowy stuff, you have to be in Mount Komorebi, which I guess is why it's called Snowy Escape. You literally have to leave your world to go and do these things. And I'm not going to keep harping on it. I think that it is a pack that's fun for a little while, but has very minimal replayability. It has some redeeming qualities in that it's fun to have that option for your Sims as a vacation. Eco lifestyle. I'm going to put eco lifestyle in a game changer. And the main reason I'm doing this is because it is a game changer in terms of how your Sims world works. It introduces pollution, but it also introduces fabrication, juice fizzing, candle making, all of these things that would allow your Sim to be very self-sufficient. And again, it's super fun for like your entrepreneurial Sims, rags to riches lifestyle. I like the introduction of the Aurora Borealis, although, you know, it has some glitches. I think that it's great that you can do that across a variety of worlds. You have neighborhood action plans, well, 9 times out of 10. I do find it very annoying. I like that I have the option to have that kind of massive change to all of my world. The cross-pack compatibility of eco lifestyle is good, but the main reason why I like eco lifestyle, the cast stuff is fine. The world of Evergreen Harbor is not one that I often play with, but this also comes with apartments if you're looking to have that. I prefer the city living apartments, but eco lifestyle does also introduce apartment buildings, and I like that the world will change depending on your actions. Like you can literally see the world of Evergreen Harbor completely change, and you can also see other worlds change depending on, if you're just playing normally, it's going to stay neutral, but you can choose to be chaotic and completely change the pollution levels of the worlds that you are living in. But I like this for like off the grid living. I think that if you are a rags to riches player, the dumpsters, so much fun. Great for rags to riches. But if you want to play like off the grid, living on a homestead kind of situation, combining cottage living and eco lifestyle makes that very, very possible, and also super fun because your Sim can craft everything that they build their house with, aside from like walls and floorings and paint and things like that. Candles you can make your own juices, and then imagine combining that with cottage living to farm, to harvest your own crop. Cottage living, eco lifestyle, I think came with off the grid, and it just provides you with that ability to completely live off the land if you would like to. So that's why it's a game changer for me. I think that it's fun for the kind of gameplay that I like. Discover University. This is the first pack going into give me my money back. I know everyone was so excited for Discover University, right? It had been long awaited, and that's because of, I believe, what the Sims 3 University was like was very, very good. I don't know. I didn't play the Sims 3, but that's what I've heard. Discover University has the same issues as Snowy Escape in that there's not enough replayability. I also think the system itself is inherently flawed because your Sims go to university for 4 weeks, but if you're playing on short lifespan, that's literally their entire fucking life. And if you're playing on normal lifespan, that's their entire young adult life. Who's at university for that long? In real life, that would be 12, 13, 14, 15 years of college. Like, boy, I don't want to be at university that long. Anyway, I think that it's boring. The homework is too difficult. A lot of it is just forcing your Sims to try to keep up. I don't enjoy that. I do like the cast here, but the world itself is just 2 universities, which, you know, makes sense. The lots, you know, they need some work. Some of these lots are real questionable. Overall, the world is just not that usable if you're not in university, and without the help of mods, Discover University is pretty boring. They do introduce things like beer pong and secret societies, but those feel very flat and 2-dimensional to me. There's really not a lot to do. The universities don't feel alive. I would have preferred to have at least like 1 active classroom. As it is, it's just a rabbit hole. And because university takes so much time and just like requires a lot of micromanagement for you, you don't have a lot of time to live the kind of college experience that you would want to live in The Sims 4. Like, I didn't want university to do homework all day, and that is essentially what this pack is. Island living, what you could have been, but you were not. if I had the option, I would put Island Living like here, somewhere between a Game Changer and It's Fine, I guess. I'm gonna put it into Game Changer, and that is solely for the world of Sulani. Sulani is Sulani is the only world of its kind in The Sims 4. It introduces this island concept where your Sims can go boating, jet skiing, swim in open waters. I believe that was introduced with Sulani, though it does appear in later packs. You get mermaids. Mermaids are a big downfall of this pack because mermaids are just Sims with tails. They don't have as much fleshing out as some of the other occults, say mermaids in comparison to vampires or mermaids in comparison to werewolves. They are just Sims with tails, and that is deeply disappointing. But the world of Sulani is so gorgeous and so fun to play with. Plus, it introduces the ability to build over water. It's the only world where you can build over water that already exists. I think it's stunning. Sulani is just visually so beautiful to play with, and it does have some gameplay objects and abilities. What I like is that Sulani has the volcano, so your Sims can experience volcanic eruptions. It introduces some fun lot challenges and traits, and something that I'm big on when it comes to worlds is collectibles. I think that Sulani does a really great job of having the things for your Sims to do, like building sandcastles, playing in the sand, going jet skiing, going scuba diving, going snorkeling, finding treasures, going into caves, searching through the sand for objects. It's just like there's endless things that you could interact with. I think that Sulani itself is a very fun world to play with, and that's the reason why it is in there for me. It just feels like very active and alive. I do like the build and buy in here, and I do like the cast, but my main selling feature for this game and why I enjoy it so much is because of the worlds of Sulani and how well done that world was. Get Famous. This is kind of controversial, but to me, Get Famous is a game changer, and that's because, again, active careers. You're hearing a theme here. I do enjoy active careers. There's only 2 packs that are active careers, and that's Get to Work and Get Famous, and actually 3 packs because cats and dogs. We'll talk about that. And then of course active high school with high school years. But I do like the active career aspect of Get Famous. I think that the acting is very well done because there's sets that your Sims go to that actually change. You can get gigs and you get notifications from like your manager, who can be super annoying. I love the introduction of like social media. I think that all the social medias, of all the social medias, the Get Famous one is the most fun because it introduces YouTube, essentially, where you can create your own videos and then you can edit those videos and post those videos. I just like that aspect of it. I really think the fame system of Get Famous is really fun and very fleshed out, and while annoying at times, definitely adds fun gameplay. I've had this pack for years and I still play it and I still have fun with it. The obvious downfall to this pack is the world. How do I say this? Del Sol Valley. Del Sol Valley is not great. It has some issues. It very much feels like a set. There are way too many debug lots with not enough active lots. The museum downtown is truly horrific. Like, I want you to look at this. This is horrific. I like the ability to like have lots that are only for famous people, which is annoying though for like regular gameplay, but I think add to the world. But the world is just like not it. It does not have enough for you to participate in and do. It is a set, and that there's very few things that your Sims can interact with unless they're actively loaded onto a lot and doing things on that lot. I think that part is a letdown. I also think that Get Famous could have done a little bit more because it only introduces the ability to get famous. You can get famous a lot of ways. Like there's compatibility, you can get famous painting and doing other things like that, but the main ways that you get famous in this pack is to be an actor or to do like YouTube or like DJ mixing. No, not DJ mixing. DJ mixing was Get Together. What I'm actually saying here is like music making. There's a music mixing station where you can sell your own music, but I would have liked that to have some ability to work with singing. That's the part that I wish that Get Famous came with. I would have wanted the ability to create a band, to have singing, to record my Sim singing, and like even if it's just an animation and put it onto an album, but instead you mix the same 4 tracks and then release those tracks. And I wanted like famous singers. What if my Sim wanted to have a concert? What if my Sim was a famous drummer? performer, a famous singer, a famous guitarist, a famous pianist. There's no ability to do that actively and get famous, and that's what lets it down and prevents it for me from being a must-have. That in the world is just disappointing. Seasons is obviously a must-have. If you don't have seasons, you are living the same day every day in The Sims 4 in terms of weather. That is the main thing that seasons introduces. It is weather. You have different weather systems, and your Sims have different interactions to weather systems. For example, your Sim can overheat if there's a heat wave, or your Sim can freeze to death if there is a storm. Sims are absolutely terrified of thunderstorms. That was a base game update, the ability for your Sims to be afraid. Seasons introduces that. I think that Seasons is a really fun pack to have. It also introduces the calendar system. Of course, they later on made the calendar system base game, but for a while calendars were locked into Seasons. The calendar system is really fun with Seasons because of the ability to create events and holidays. I think that that is a fun pack. That's what I love about Seasons. Of course, there are holidays that just come with the pack, but you can essentially create any holiday under the sun and force all Sims to celebrate, and I really enjoy that system with Seasons. I couldn't imagine playing The Sims 4 without Seasons, and that's why it is a must-have. The thing that I would have wanted with Seasons is a world, but obviously Seasons has cross-pack compatibility with every single pack in the game because weather is an inherent part of the system. So those are my thoughts on Seasons and why it is a must-have. Well, weather system, the holiday system, calendars, and I'm sure other things that I'm forgetting. The build and buy, I love the build and buy in Seasons. I think that's a fun pack for that. And our final pack that is currently out is Cats and Dogs. Cats and Dogs will go and to give me my money back. I don't like cats and dogs. I'm sorry. I know so many people do, but I think the pets in The Sims 4 are so fucking annoying because they're always sick. Always sick. Like, damn. I don't want to go to the vet all day, every day. That's fucking irritating. It has to rely on another Sim's autonomy. Don't like that. They're cute, but they're just always sick. And I really, really dislike that. Then this comes with the world of Brindleton Bay. Brindleton Bay is a nice world. It is a nice world. It's a fun world to play with, although be warned, all the worlds do have their own weather systems, which again, Seasons coming in clutch. Brindleton Bay is very, very rainy, so it's always raining in Brindleton Bay, which means you will have a high chance that your Sims are usually terrified. I think that Brindleton Bay, though, is a beautiful world and a fun world to play with, but the main selling feature of this pack is the cats and the dogs, and they're just always sick, which is annoying to play with and why I never play with this pack. It's not something that I really enjoy having. It just isn't. So with that said, this is my final ranking for every expansion pack in The Sims 4. Thankfully, no packs have gone into LOL. There are no packs that I'm like, wow, that's a joke. And I guess that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite expansion pack is in The Sims 4, or what you would have wanted with a certain pack. If there is one that you enjoyed, like I mentioned, Get Famous, I would love for it to have a band. And Seasons, I would have loved a world. And Snowy Escape, I would have loved to have cross-pack compatibility. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I hope that you did enjoy it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!